Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This One's Wife. Netflix is done with them. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. A number of years ago, This One's Wife and Harry heralded a blockbuster deal with Netflix. Naturally, Netflix thought to themselves, the renegade royals are going to provide us with plenty of dirt about the royal family. They're going to tell us what went on during their period of time with them, how they were treated, what went on with regard to the negotiations surrounding Brexit, who has caused them problems, why were problems caused. You can imagine that the Netflix executives were rubbing their hands with glee, thinking they were going to get their hands on plenty of dirt. Some dirt did come their way, but it was largely a whinge fest that formed This One's Wife and Harry, complaining without necessarily providing the juicy detail that Netflix had hoped for. Whilst that series was viewed as a success with regard to its number of views, much of it was grudge views, and it soon fell down the ratings as people lost interest. They haven't been able to author anything since. Their Live to Lead was, quite frankly, boring, and there was much touted content that never came. Netflix then realised that in effect they bought a lemon. Certainly they hadn't handed over $100 million to them, but substantial sums were expended. The next suggestion was that they would be involved in relation to a polo series, and also something to do with cooking involving This One's Wife, as the world of course needs another cooking show. It shows that not only are the gruesome twosome devoid of ideas and charisma, but also the fact that even Netflix couldn't come up with anything that was particularly interesting for them to do. Whether that was because Madam rejected it out of hand, monkey tennis, as in the words of Alan Partridge, or whether it was simply a case that Netflix just realised that there was nothing that they could suggest that would be interesting or useful with regard to them. Repeatedly, it's been suggested that Netflix is going to ditch them, or at least not renew the deal at its expiration in 2025. Step forward, Mercury News, and Martha Ross tells us, despite recent reports that Netflix has gone full steam ahead in producing a This One's Wife's cooking show and a series about professional polo with Prince Harry, the streamer is not expected to renew the splashy 5-year $100 million contract it signed with the couple in 2020. That is according to Puck co-founder Matthew Belloni and entertainment reporter Leslie Goldberg. In Belloni's newsletter, he and Goldberg listed Netflix deal with a Californian-based royal couple and their Archwell production company as one of the worst of Hollywood's peak TV era. Let's pause there. Hollywood has peak TV. And This One's Wife, during this fertile golden period, are viewed as being involved in a deal which is the worst. Once again, the Sadim touch of This One's Wife is evident. Once again, the unpopularity of her and Harry results in whatever endeavours they turn to, they fail. By any other stretch, securing a $100 million contract would be viewed as rather special and quite an achievement. But what they've pumped out, what they failed to do, demonstrates that it was essentially a bum deal for Netflix. Belloni and Goldberg noted that the couple's 2022 docuseries, Harry and This One's Wife, about their departure from their unhappy royal lives, was a blockbuster hit. Critics say that's due to the fact that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex dished dirt about the British monarchy and about Harry's relatives. Belloni and Goldberg said that none of the couple's other projects has connected in the same way, including This One's Wife's Passion Project, an animated children's series called Pearl, which was cancelled before it even got started. Oh dear, the embarrassment. Baloney and Goldberg also said that This One's Wife's forthcoming cucking show and Harry's announced Polo series are two other offerings that are not expected to connect. Well, I don't think that you necessarily need to be an expert in the entertainment industry to identify that. All you need do is look at these two, realise that they're a pair of dullards, that they're unpopular, and you'll realise that whatever they create is not going to succeed or connect. If Harry and This One's Wife lose the Netflix association, it could prove to be another disappointment for the aspiring media moguls, after Spotify cut ties with them in June 2023, reportedly due to low output. Like Netflix, Spotify signed a major deal with the couple soon after they relocated to California, paying them a reported $20 million to produce a slate of podcasts. But This One's Wife only managed to turn out 12 episodes of a podcast series called Archetypes. See Parts Passing for an analysis of that shit show. Over the past year, the couple have been the subject of reports in The Wrap and other industry trade publications that they've worn out their welcome in Hollywood, you betcha, and squandered opportunities because they are demanding to work with, the sense of entitlement of This One's Wife, but lack experience, lack of accountability. Somebody, of course, that would have accountability would realise that they're a noob, that they are all a virgin to all of this. They'd keep their head down and they'd learn. They wouldn't make demands. They'd build up credit in the bank of experience before they would start throwing any weight around. But that's not applicable to This One's Wife, of course. She believes she knows it all and she believes she should have it all. For the Puck newsletter, Harry and This One's Wife's much ballyhooed Netflix deal is on an extensive list of underperformers in Hollywood's hyperinflated peak TV era. The list covers the most costly showrunner deals, the 9-figure pacts that led to 0 new shows, and the biggest underperformers of the era. Fans of the Monty Shit Show duo should take heart that their names are mentioned in the same company as some other Hollywood heavy hitters who have nonetheless become underperformers. These veteran producers, creators and showrunners have tons of experience and track records of success in the industry, unlike Harry and This One's Wife. But just like Harry and This One's Wife, they failed to live up to the promise of multi-million-dollar productions deals that they inked with streamers and audios. The list of underperformers includes J.J. Abrams, David Benioff, D.B. Weiss, Seth MacFarlane, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Ava DuVernay. The list, moreover, includes Barack and Michelle Obama and their Higher Ground production company. Netflix signed a multi-million-dollar production deal with the former first couple in 2018. While Deadline reported in June that the deal had been fruitful and Higher Ground has become one of Netflix's top suppliers of tastemaker film and TV projects, Baloney and Goldberg said that the company's executive turnover and slow output have frustrated the streamer. When it comes to Harry and This One's Wife's current relationship with Netflix, reports earlier this month said that This One's Wife's cooking show would not be released until the spring of 2025. The streaming service is yet to announce when it is ready to release the show, even though filming reportedly wrapped in Los Angeles and in her hometown of Monty Shit Show. Both the Daily Beast and the Daily Mail reported that the release of the cooking show was being timed with the launch of This One's Wife's new luxury lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard. The media build-up of the cooking show and the American Riviera Orchard brand has led both fans and critics of This One's Wife to expect that both would be launched in the fall. Buzz around ARO's promised luxury home and lifestyle products exploded in the spring because This One's Wife's celebrity friends tried to stoke enthusiasm about her new venture. But the Daily Beast reported that This One's Wife probably wouldn't be able to follow that principle in sales and marketing with her brand, namely strike while the iron is hot. And that's not just because it will be timed with the Netflix show, according to reports. The US Patents and Trademarks Office also told the former Hollywood TV actor that she needs to correct irregularities in applications she made to the office. The office has noted that This One's Wife's lawyers have notified This One's Wife's lawyers of various issues, including incorrect classification of other proposed ARO products, such as yoga blankets, picnic baskets, and recipe books. Unfortunately for ARO, it could take around 8 months for those trademark applications to be examined and up to 14 months for them to be registered. Once again, something launched cack-handedly by This One's Wife fails. Thus, all of this clusterfuck that is this one's wife, driven by her sense of entitlement and lack of accountability, means that the suggestion is, according to industry experts, that Netflix has had enough of Harry and this one's wife. If they're savvy, they would realise that they're not going to change. They would also recognise that the public largely don't like them or are not interested in them, and therefore are not going to bother watching things that they're involved in, and therefore why spend further money on them. Naturally, should Netflix not review, this one's wife will not take any accountability for her behaviour as causing that. She will blame everybody but herself. She'll blame Harry for making them unpopular. She'll blame the marketing people for not having it given the sufficient PR muscle that it deserved. She will blame writers and production staff for not doing their jobs properly. None of it will be allowed to settle at her doorstep, which is the typical attitude of the narcissist. But should it be the case that Netflix, and if they're operating on any brain cells they would do this, decides not to renew the deal, then this would be huge wounding for this one's wife. Not least because it tells her that she's not important and would threaten her control, but also it strips away a considerable residual benefit, money. Moreover, there will be the expected amplification of this through reportage around the world about the facts that Netflix don't want to work with them anymore. This one's wife, of course, will be demanding that other streamers work with her, but they, if they've any sense, will realise she is toxic, unhelpful, demanding, and not somebody that people want to watch. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.